The month of April has been designated as Child Abuse Prevention Month. This provides us with an opportunity to highlight our awareness of child sexual abuse and to call attention to our ongoing responsibility to provide safe, healthy environments for our children and young people. As you know, back in 2002, the Church was racked with news that some of its leaders failed miserably in our sacred responsibility to care tenderly for the most vulnerable among us. At the time, the scope and depth of this evil that had infiltrated the body of Christ could not have been imagined. The sexual abuse of our children, youth, and other vulnerable individuals by some church leaders and the manner in which these crimes and sins was addressed have caused terrible suffering and deep anguish by those who were victimized, as well as their family members, the thousands of faithful holy priests, and indeed the Church at large. When the revelations began to surface, we were in disbelief. We were utterly repulsed and shameful by association. What can one say or do when so many lives have been devastated? We continue to express sorrow and contrition for our failures, but words alone are not enough. Responding to the rapidly unfolding crisis in 2002, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops promulgated the Charter for the Protection of Children and Young People. In it, the American bishops established standards and guidelines to promote healing and reconciliation with the victims of sexual abuse. Guidelines were set to help guarantee an effective response to allegations of abuse and to ensure the accountability of our procedures that will protect the faithful in the future by providing safe environments for our youth. In the published essential norms, the canonical means were given to ensure the just application of these standards and guidelines. Clearly, as the title of the Charter indicates, a sacred charge has been placed upon the Church, a promise to protect, a pledge to heal. As the Holy Father has reiterated, families need to know that the Church is making every effort to protect their children and that there is absolutely no place in ministry for those who would abuse minors. The Charter directs that annual audits be conducted in every diocese and eparchy in our country to ensure compliance with its guidelines. These audits evaluate such important concerns as outreach to victims and survivors, prompt and just responses to allegations of abuse, safe environment training programs, and background checks for all clergy, employees, and volunteers who have regular contact with our children. An annual public report is published that gives a summary of the progress made by the dioceses in implementing and maintaining the standards of the Charter. Dioceses continue to work hard to improve their methods to prevent child abuse and respond to allegations. We are grateful to the thousands of the faithful who have given countless hours of service to the Church, working so diligently to ensure that in the future not one of our loved ones will be harmed by such criminal activity. Yes, we have made significant strides over the last 15 years. In fact, our standards and policies have become models for other public institutions and national bishops' conferences from around the world, all seeking to address this critical concern. Still, we must and we will continue to go beyond the minimum of meeting the established guidelines and be ever vigilant in protecting our children and aid in the healing of those hurt so terribly by the egregious acts of those who betrayed a sacred trust. Let us continue to pray for one another, that healing and justice be the fruits of our labors, and that our vulnerable loved ones be kept safe and joyful in the Lord.